Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of PvP Talk. And ta-da! We're playing with the strength build this time, like I promised on the last episode. On this episode the strength build isn't finalized yet. It's finalized, what the hell is that word even? Finished yet. Yeah, it's not finished yet, but it's getting there. After this episode was recorded, I already got my rings. Shout out to Tobio. Thank you so much. He was being a bro and helping me with the rings and everything. And LED helped me to get some souls fast to level up this build. So we got this build done pretty fast after all. But yeah, this build has two weapons. Other one being the mace and the other being the broadsword. And excuse me, I called this build a strength build. That is bullshit, it's quality build. Originally I thought that, yeah, I'm going to go for strength and see some other use for the leftover levels. But then I realized there is no use for the goddamn leftover levels. There is no use, seriously. Like, I couldn't figure out any points of levels where I should put them after leveling up my strength to 40. There was nothing I could do with the points, so I was like, let's go with quality. So this build became a quality build instead of strength. But I still use the same weapons that I talked about earlier that I'm going to have. And so far it's working pretty damn nicely. I must apologize for not being as confident and as agile with this build as I am with my pyro, because I have tongue again. I have played so much with the pyro build that my movement and all my attacks, I know that build through and through, what I should do and when. But with this build, it's still kind of a trial and error sometimes, but I do really well when it comes to like win-loss ratio, I guess. So I shouldn't be that bummed about it, but there's a lot of things I could improve with this build, that's true. And these are some of the first matches that I have had actually with this build, so you get to witness me growing with this build when we go later on in these episodes. I wanted to do some duels to actually test this build out properly, but probably next episode is gonna be invasions again, to kind of mix and match. Mix and match, I don't know what's magic in there, but it's mixing. All these mix-ups. But yeah, I got this same guy for a couple of times in a row because I couldn't get anyone else for some reason, but other signs popped up real fast, and it's good that he had some rematches in there as well. The look of this character is actually inspired by Castlevania, not actually the armor pieces, but more like the face of the character. I wanted to make it very Castlevania-like, and all the Castlevania fans out there, you can tell me how good of a job I did with the character. I think it looks pretty decent. And whoopsie! Getting card broken. This happens to me way too often. I really have to watch for my blocking, even though I have now a little bit more stability on my shield than before. But that gets me killed. Like, that's the half of the times I actually die. I get card broken and get reposted by Hornet. I shit you not, that is like half of the deaths overall that I encounter in Souls PvP, Dark Souls 3 PvP I mean. So that is something I really have to work on. Not blocking all the fucking time. But yeah, it's really fun to play with this build actually. I have really enjoyed my time with this. It's really nice to... usually I keep the broadsword as my main tool, and every now and then I whip out the mace to get like fast trades in with the perseverance, because with perseverance you can poise through hits and trade, and it's on certain situations it's just a freaking godsend. Queen send, so to speak. And here, a guy who tries to parry. Oh boy. Oh boy. What can I say? All the dead angles, he just... oh man. You just gotta look out, if your opponent is doing dead angles, don't go for parries. Don't, it's just too damn risky. But yeah, the broadsword, I love the freaking R2 with it. I love it. It's amazing hitbox. It's huge, horizontally huge hitbox, and it's kind of delayed enough that it's good for roll catches sometimes, and also to toy around with people's like parry timings and everything. It's really useful attack. I very rarely like fully charge it. I use it as it is, like an R2 attack, and it works really fine. Like there, boom, nice. But yeah, I think this setup works really well. There are a couple of weapons. There are a couple of weapons actually that bring me some troubles with this particular setup. And halberd types is one of them. Halberd is rather hard to counter with this setup because you cannot get that range. You cannot really get in too well, but that's usually with majority of the weapons when fighting halberds. You cannot really get in too well, because halberds is one of those weapons that it has good range and hyper armor. So it kind of makes some situations a little bit tricky, and I have gotten a couple of losses since this episode against halberd users for that exact reason. The hyper armor can really get a nasty stuff happen, especially with like patient halberd users. Those are pretty hard to counter sometimes. For me at least, I don't know about you guys, but... And this guy watches Scott Chunt for sure. For fucking sure. He has like all the Scott Chunt setup weapons on. The Mirach Greatsword, whatever it is called in this game. Hollow Slayer, I think. Hollow Slayer, I think he whips out a... Cardless Curved Sword as well. So yeah. This guy has been watching some Scott. Red Hilted, actually, I think Scott uses more of the Black Knight Halberd, I think. There I went for the cautious trade. I knew that he's gonna deal a lot of damage to me with the Perseverance, the trade, but that had so much health that I wanted to take that free damage in there, because I was confident that he will get hit as well if you use Perseverance at the same time, and yeah. Also, as you can see, the battle arena this time is kind of colored in orange, because I have progressed into a certain point of the game when doing this build, so it looks a little bit different than in the last episode. This time it's not my contrast fucking up, or saturation fucking up, which I did on the first episode. I fixed it later, but yeah, originally when that episode came out, it was so colorful, like Jesus Christ. And right there, you cannot be overly aggressive against the mace, unless you're going for like one hit and get out, one hit and get out against the Perseverance, and you can sneak it in and not get hit if your timing is correct. And also, you can try to backstab it, but it can be kind of hit or miss. You gotta be very solid on your timing. I think this is the same guy that I just fought not too long ago, and now he's using the Cardis. So my good old Nemesis weapon. I have a couple of Nemesis weapons in this game, and I could name at least two of them right now on the top of my head. It's Cardis Curved Sword and the Black Knight Halberd. Those two. I have no reason. Well, they're good weapons, but for me, they have caused the most problems. And now he whips out the Gotthards. So meta is super real in here. When you see me like hitting seemingly random R1s in the air, it's usually my bait to get the R2 to land on their roll when they come to punish. And that works surprisingly well. Like, it's the oldest bait in the book, but it works super well and very often. And usually I don't even trade. So it is really nice combo, the mace and the broadsword. And if you really want to go for strength build, works. It totally works, even with strength build as well. But quality nets you a little bit more damage, so keep that in mind. With strength build, I would maybe get some castings in there, if you can figure out something, if you want to use this setup. go for strength and use the leftover levels for some attunement slots and yeah. This guy is going crazy with the R1s. Kinda caught me off guard there. Then I go pressure him a little bit. I thought he would be out of stamina. So I thought if I could connect with his shield with those attacks, he would get card broken, but I couldn't even reach him. The broadsword hitbox isn't the largest ever. It's okay, like, it's cool and all, but... And there, another one of my nemesis weapons. That attack can deal us so much damage if it lands like 1000, near 1000. I think they actually removed the last hit of the combo connecting with or I'm not sure what hit. I just heard this. I haven't like tested it myself, but I think those spinny combos got nerfed somehow, so they don't get the full combo anymore, which is kind of nice because it was kind of huge damage. You could like one-shot people if you get that land. And there I tried to bait him in the parry, fuck up my timing though. With this build I do very little of parrying actually, like very little. I haven't been parrying much at all. Been trying to focus on my how to use my weapons because I still have a lot to learn, but I think I have progressed a bit on these past few days. When to turn on the pressure, when to go for baits, stuff like this, and using the perseverance sparingly. Like, you cannot spam that shit because then you're just blowing your cover in there. I think this guy tries to bleed me out or not. I can't remember. But yeah, I'm also a little bit... Yeah, he tries to parry me with the curved. Not a really good idea because the curved has pretty bad active frames based on my experiences. So it is not the best tool for parrying, I must say. You can do it, but it's a little bit risky. Here we have some Fume Ultra goodness. Actually, when I was still leveling up this build, I didn't have any rings. My weapons weren't upgraded fully. I think I fought this guy before in the same place with this build when this build was so-called prototype. And I met a lot of good players that day when I was dueling here. Really interesting fights. And I even saw some of their signs in here when I was doing this session as well, but I couldn't summon them. Like, I was always like, yes, this guy again, I want to fight this guy again. Nope, summoning failed, couldn't summon Phantom or something like that. And it bugs me because I didn't record that session when I was playing with the incomplete build. But I had some good fights in there as well. Teach me a couple of things about this. That was actually the first PvP session I have done with that build. Oh, look at that. What is that? Oh, it was a beer. This guy is interesting. Oh, shit. Mail came through the leather box. Sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna dominate this match at first. But then, this guy is like, nah. Me and my fashion souls is gonna take this. I really dig this guy's look. He looks amazing. I can really appreciate the attention to detail when going for the fashion. I think this guy looks pretty damn cool. I cannot remember how he gets me in here, but I think he did get me here. Oh, good poke, good poke. This is so exciting to watch because I gotta remember how this went. Yeah, I tried to catch him on the roll there, but he got the poke in there. Nice, nice fight. Freaking amazing job. A good looking build. Good looking build. And then, of course, I wanted a rematch because not too many people beat me and this guy is looking amazing. So I wanted a rematch right away. See how it goes. Now I'm being super cautious not to get hit by that goddamn uppercut because it's so slow that sometimes it can surprise you when you're going for. You see that it's coming. You always see that it's coming, but sometimes you still fuck up your roll and that leads to silly situations. Nice usage of the weapon art there as well. Didn't quite land the damage, but here, he reposes me with the Hornet. Oh boy! But it's not over. I'm not dead yet. We're both on like magic pixel, and then I'm like, what the hell? We could have fought for that last pixel, man. We could have fought. But apparently he wants to take the fight again, or at least like I think so. I was a little bit confused what the hell is going on. We could have fought who gets the last pixel down, but he was a solid dude. He wants to just fight and wants to take a rematch, and I'm cool with that. We were both on the like magic pixel in there, so I wonder how it would have ended. And here I don't have the goddamn Estus equipped, so I used it from the menu. But here, a new fight against the guy. Starts with the claws, which I really don't fight a lot. Don't see that weapon used too much. And I don't see the Black Knight Ultra Greatsword either too much. It's not that common, but I see it every now and then. That would have been a good spot to use Perseverance, but I didn't for some reason. I really want to use it sparingly. My movement could use some improvement with this build, but I think I get it eventually. Oh, and there. Ooh, look at the damage. Jesus, that's why I'm so cautious when fighting these weapons. It is so goddamn high damage, but I somehow managed to get him down. Good fights, man. Good fights. I really dig that build. If you happen to be there and watch this video. Okay, and here is this Artorias dude. And this is very interesting player in my opinion, because he doesn't seem that he fully, like, he doesn't seem like a dangerous player at first, to me at all. But he does some very wise trading in the end here, and I think he got his shit down actually. There I could have sworn that was a parry, perfect parry timing, but I guess it wasn't, just a partial. He whips out a Swihander, or I couldn't really see from the bad quality preview too well, but I think that's a Swihander. Yeah, it's a Swihander. Here, he knows exactly when to trade and he gets me down. Nice job. And here we got someone named AO Punk. I wonder if this is actually punked, because he plays kind of a same kind of crazy way. His build has quite a bit of everything in there. Pyro, a big sword, and what else? I think he had even something else in there. And he plays very distinct games, so I don't know if this was punked or not, but Punked is an excellent player from my fight clubs, if you happen to be watching those episodes. Oh yeah, he has a hip whip. Worst decision ever. That trade with the Perseverance. Cannot compete with that. Then there's this guy who tries to parry me with the curved swords. I respect the guy for it, because I have not too many go for curved swords parries, but it's not really working out for him too much. Like, I'm delaying my attacks just enough not to get parried by him, because he's being a little bit too... And here he goes for wild R1 craze, and my perseverance can challenge any of the R1 spams. Because perseverance doesn't only give you the poise, so to speak. It also like ups your defense by a lot. So usually it's very safe to trade. If you get 2 hits in, you usually win the trade. Usually. There's a couple of weapons that could challenge that, but not that one. Not the one the guy was using. But here there's this Karthus curved sword user who just... I don't know. Like, it's a dangerous weapon, but you have to do something else than just spam the R1 like 3 times in a row. I could have like also gone for the recovery parry there, but I decided not to. I decided to just fuck it and go for attacks. I wonder why I didn't get the backstab in there. I think I was right on time with the roll backstab, but didn't really work. I've gotten a lot of roll backstabs with this build in particular. I don't know why, but maybe I'm getting better at it, or people are doing more unsafe moves lately. No, there it is. There you go. Did get the roll catch in there. Should have delayed a little bit. Usually for the wake up situation I should delay it. That's a note to self, I guess. Now let me see. What do we have in here? Oh, this same guy. Yeah, there were at some times I couldn't... Like, there were a lot of signs in the ground, but I only could summon these same guys over and over again. So it's kinda silly that sometimes like you see this same guy fight me like 4 times or something, and yeah, but it is what it is. I cannot like, ooh, yeah, there I wanted to show him, dude, I can spam too if you want to take some spam wars. I can spam too. Then we have the so-called meme sword. Oh man. There is a very good window to backstab that weapon. Well, I haven't done that in a while, so I haven't really practiced backstabbing that. Here we have a dragon dude, something I don't see very often, to be honest. I don't see dragon bros, and who can blame them? The new dragon body design is absolutely fucking hideous. Like, oh my god, what the fuck were they thinking with this? It's so bad. Literally, just about anything else could have looked better. The old Dark Souls 1 looks better than this, and even that's goofy as fuck. But, yeah. I guess it cannot be helped. Here another halberd user. Maybe you can see from my playstyle a little bit that halberds really put me on the edge, and I guess I should need to train against them more. Summon like only halberd players for one day or something to learn to fight these weapons better. I still do a good job, but I don't feel confident fighting them. And there, perfect time to use the perseverance and finish the R1 combo with the jump follow-up. Works pretty often, not all the time. I don't know what it is. I think sometimes it just doesn't catch them well enough. But when it lands, it's like 1000 damage, and from this setup, it's really damn good damage. Or like 900, closer to that. Yeah, this guy has a backup dark sword in there, which he uses. And we fight the same guy again. He gives a little claps in there. In the middle of the fight. My tactic against the halberds have been that I try to keep on the pressure. I just try somehow. But the thing that makes it tricky is the hyper armor. If you do it on the wrong spot. Ooh, look at that. My good old friend getting guard broken. Getting guard broken. from an attack and get reposted. That is my freaking curse. Like, that is my curse. I cannot help it. I get guard broken so often. And I don't even, when I'm looking at my play here, I don't even block often. Like, I don't even block that often, but I still get guard broken. So, well, I don't say I get guard broken a lot, but that's a lot of times when I lose, it's because of I get guard broken. So that's something I need to improve on. But yeah, here I take some distance, I let my HP regen do the job. I have the Sun Princess ring on, so that gives me a little bit HP regen, and I try to take back some space here, take back some HP, and hopefully come back in the end of this match. Well, you have to see how it ends up. But the guy is also being cautious. He's not going for a lot of attacks. He's like baiting out a good opportunity to finish me off and throw some fire bombs in there. Doing the jump attacks so I don't parry him. I didn't even have my parry shield out. But cautious. Now, look! Almost 900 damage combo there, but couldn't turn it around. Couldn't turn it around. Whoops. My headphones just fell off the disc. And the same guy again. Look at that. So let's see how it turns this time. Will I get guard broken again? Will that happen once again? Honestly, I cannot even remember how this match went. I have realized something very strange. The mace actually has quite decent roll catching properties. Like, you wouldn't think of it from the mace because the hitbox looks weird and it's not that long and the speed is weird, but I think the speed is the reason for it. Like, the awkward speed actually gets people from the rolls pretty often. So that's something I have noticed, just a little bit of note in there. And sometimes I use the mace's R2 to catch the rolls as well. There, I didn't quite have the angle for backstab, would have been a perfect time. I went for it, but I didn't get his back, I got his shoulder actually. And the roll catch. Or actually in that situation it was a follow-up. But I used it as a roll catch and I think it's really, really good. The broadsword R2, it's really useful so far, has been for me. And this guy again, the Fashion Souls guy, I really dig this guy. I have good fights with him. And his build is interesting and his look is interesting, what's there not to like? And he doesn't go too usual ultra greatsword things. Like, he doesn't bait with the R1s and do delayed R1s after it too much, which I see used a lot. He uses the uppercut a lot, like a hell of a lot, and switches for the gloves sometimes. So it's a pretty interesting setup. I really like it. It's really cool. But here I have some convenient hits landed. Perseverance didn't really work, he didn't go for an attack. Dracket tried to poop on him with a rope fireball, but it didn't work. And the the weapon art. I'm still experimenting with those. I have found out that the broadsword weapon art is also pretty good roll catcher, but I find myself not using it too often for some reason. Like I don't know even why, but I just didn't forget it. But yeah, this build has a lot more depth once I get to play with it a little bit more and realize all the tools that I can use with it, which is a lot with the Perseverance and the broadsword R2s and the weapon arts combined. So it's gonna be interesting when I learn a little bit more with this. But yeah, this fight, I actually needed to speed up a portion of this fight. This is the same guy who was using dragon form earlier, I think. I think this is the same guy, but this time he has armor on. Has some variation in his weaponry as well. He uses the butcher knife and the Yorm's great machete. But yeah, I'm forced to turn. Like, I take a lot of damage in here. Ah, he card broke one hit too early in there. One hit. Oh god damn it. I tried to card broke him with the kick, finish the combo, but he got card broken before the kick and I didn't realize it and I couldn't repost. That was bad. But here, as you can see, I took some heavy penalty for that fuck up, and then things turn into boring mode because I really have to take it cautious here. I really have to take it cautious. And when I go cautious, I go really fucking cautious. And the guy that just tries to throw throwing knives in there, I think he wastes all of these throwing knives in the one go, all 40 of them or something. But hey, what can I do? With the sliver of health, I would die from any attack, so I have to do it very, very cautiously. And that's why I sped up the part of the episode here to, like, yeah, there's not a lot of happening here. I'm dodging the throwing knives, trying to sneak some very cautious hits in there. He tries to bait me in, but I didn't go in. And I deal a couple of chip damage in there, bring him low. And then I start to throw shit at his way as well. I even throw out some kukri, because I didn't have the regular throwing knives. I should buy those, just in case, for these kind of situations. Usually, I'm not used to using the throwing knives since I have the fire surge on my pyromancer, so I wasn't prepared. But yeah, next episode is probably going to be this build as well. And this time the build is probably going to be complete. If not, a couple of levels short, but I'm taking my builds to 120 now, because that seems to be the meta at the moment. No reason to fight the masses at this point. So yeah. But here, back to the normal speed. I have bring him down to the chip health. I actually have more health than he has at the moment because of all the health regen. And there he goes. I think he probably didn't enjoy much that fight, but it happens. It happens, man. And here is the last match of the day. And it is against some sort of straight sword. Is that the Bard straight sword? I think it is. But yeah, here, full on aggression. Good damage combos in there and perseverance for the finish. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching another episode of PvP Talk. I'm really enjoying doing this series and take care.